What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. On behalf of Brit, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Brittany, and today we are doing a girl talk. We're having girl talk. Today's topic is how to build long-lasting relationships with your clients, how to build a solid clientele where your clients keep coming back, and not only that, but when they come back, they're bringing people with them or they're referring people to you. So at this point, if you're a new braider and you're watching this video, I'm speaking to the people that already have clients coming in, you've gotten your start, business is going well, but you want to try to come up with ways to keep it the way it is or elevate. You're liking what it's looking like, but you want to make sure that the people and the relationships that you're building stay that way. Whether business is good or great or steady, you always want to make sure that you're growing. You want to see growth in your clientele over the years. You want to see growth in your income, growth in yourself. You want to improve and only get better. So as an experienced stylist and experienced braider, I like to share any tips that I've learned along the way. So these are things to keep in mind. I'm not saying that everything that I'm going to throw out at you, you have to do. Like if you don't do these things, you're going to run your clients off, or if you don't do these things, you're not going to be successful. Because me as a person, sometimes I just go the extra mile, or I overextend myself, or sometimes I'm too sweet or too nice. So if you're watching this and it might raise your eyebrows, or you may be thinking that's not me, or I couldn't do that for people, don't feel like because you're not just over the top that you're going to run people off, because at the end of the day, you're offering a service. All you're required to do is be professional and offer them an experience. You know, at the end goal, what I'm trying to say is you're not in the business of making friends. The main goal is to offer a really cute style, really good braids, healthy hair, just to make our people that come in feel beautiful, feel enhanced, and just get their money's worth out of your performance. But also, I just like to give my clients an experience. So I'm going to share with you maybe 3 or 4 things that I've done or I incorporate over the years that really has my clients rocking with me. I'm going to show you how to build a solid clientele. So let's get right into it.
We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew that way, babe. Come one right away. Oh, right away. At first sight, I felt energy of sunrise.
Rule number 1 is communication. It is important that you are a very strong communicator, especially in the beginning when you have new clients reaching out to you. When you're first meeting a new client, this is the main time that you do want to practice being really nice, because it makes the client feel welcome. It makes the client feel like you're looking forward to meeting them, and in return, they're going to look forward to meeting you. So if that's your booking link or your page, having inviting work, texting back quick, being a consistent communicator. So as they're responding, you're responding right back and answering their questions and leading up to the appointment, directions, and just being on top of it. Out of the 3 or 4 things that I'm going to name with you, this is the one thing that I struggle with the most, but it is important. First impressions are everything, and a lot of time, because people are finding us through social media now, they're not walking into the stores or the mall stopping us anymore. Everything right now is all about social media. Their first time communicating with you, a lot of times it's through text or over the phone. So really just practice really good communication and do everything I just said, from texting back quick, answering phone calls. Even if you're not a phone person, it'll only last a few minutes just to tell them what kind of hair they need, or really just be patient with them if they don't know anything about braids or anything about the style they're getting. Really walking them through the step. It really has people thinking, oh, she's nice, she's really passionate about what she does. If you're lacking in other areas, because you're a good communicator and you're patient with them, people remember that. They remember how you treat them, and it'll always keep them coming back. The second thing that I want to tell you guys to keep in mind are aesthetics and branding. When it comes to creating an experience or keeping clients coming back, you want to make them feel comfortable. So that means a lot of times that you're going to have to create or build environments that they're attracted to. So creating a salon space, or giving them an experience. If you're a travel stylist, or if you're working in a salon next to someone or in a suite, making it stylish, attractive. Make it so that your space is somewhere that they enjoy coming to and they don't mind sitting at for hours at a time. We all know that braid services can last for hours, anywhere from 2 to 6, sometimes up to 8 hours, depending on what the style is. Your client is going to be in your chair for a long length of time, and you want your environment to be as clean, as fresh looking, as fun as possible. I watch people on YouTube. I have a lot of my favorite stylists that I watch and pay attention to that aren't as extra as me or colorful and just all over the place how my setup is. A lot of people are really simple and minimalist. I have one girl that I watch that everything is all black. So her little cubby shelf where she holds her stuff is all black. Her aprons are black. Her capes are black. Her furniture where she sits and the client sits are black. Shelving, equipment, combs, brushes, everything is all black. Just watching her, everything's so uniform and so neat. It's like, dang, I would love to sit in her chair if I was a client, because everything is just so put together. So just find an aesthetic that works for you, but that is also attractive to your clients. And even if you aren't a stylish person, find out what it is, what is trending, what the people are into. A lot of times it's not about us, it's about the service that we're providing and the people that are sitting in our chairs, because again, you want them to come back, you want them to love you and love the environment that they're in. Clients love comfortable, clean, professional spaces. The third thing that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is accommodations, incentives, and specials. This is something that's really big with me, that my clients love about me, that keep them coming back. Where I told y'all I've lived in Jacksonville, Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, and now Atlanta, Georgia. And I have clients that from when I was in Jacksonville would travel to me to Atlanta to get their hair done. Sometimes they'll ride 5 hours just because I looked out for them in times of need, or I offered them services, or I offer things that no one else is doing that kind of sets me apart, or just that people just love about being in my chair. I'm always going to find ways to help out or make you feel super special. And so with accommodations, incentives, and specials, let's talk about incentives first. Incentives is really big. So let's just say you have a regular that started with you from the bottom when your braids were janky or your sew-ins were lumpy, and they understood that it's a growing process, and they kept coming to you, and now you're up and up. You got all the followers in the world, all the clients that you could ever want to have, but it's because of them. It's because that they trusted you from the beginning, kept coming back to you, kept bringing people to you. Your regulars, it's very important that you reward your regulars. They are the people that are going to keep you in business. Those people that keep coming back and refer people to you, don't mind putting other people on and telling people about you. You want to reward them. I'm not saying every appointment you need to give discounts or knock the price down or give them gifts for bringing people to you. Reward people that really look out for you. You want to look out for them too, because they don't have to put you on. That's one thing with incentives, rewarding your regulars. The next thing I want to talk about are specials. And specials aren't something that's mandatory for you to do. This is another thing that if you don't do it, it's not going to harm your business at all, but it will help you. I'll give you an example. When I first started out, I was really big on specials, and I knew when to do them. Back to school and Christmas are always big times of year for people getting their hair done, the holidays, and when it's time to go back to school. Okay, so I talked to y'all about this a little bit when I talked about getting started, but as far as what keeps them coming back and what has your clients loving you, I have a lot of clients who are single moms, and not only do they get their hair done, but they bring their children to me. So a lot of times when it was back to school time, I'll give a discount where if it's a mother and 2 kids, I may do the mother and the daughter's hair and the oldest child's hair for full price, because sometimes that oldest child, that teenager, got just as much hair as the mama do, but then I'll knock off the price or knock the price down for the younger child, or like give discounts, because I know parents, especially single mothers, it's a lot. Buying book bags, buying school supplies. If you have teenagers, a lot of the teenagers now are into some of the same things as adults when it comes to getting eyebrows waxed, lashes done, nails done. Some of the stuff I didn't even worry about in 9th and 10th grade. These teenagers are putting their mamas through, so having to do it for multiple girls in a household, getting school clothes every year, growing out of stuff. You want to go back and have your child with all this fancy wardrobe and paying for 2 and 3 different hairstyles. It can be a lot. So I remember it was this one particular year, y'all, this lady really stood out to me. She's moved out of Atlanta now, but it was like 2 years ago. This lady was coming to me, and she had 3 daughters, and at the time her oldest daughter was 15. She had like a 9 or 10-year-old in elementary school, and then she had a child in preschool. And she didn't say nothing to me about what she was going through, but I had been doing her hair as well, and I knew that she was a single mom. So when back to school came, I did the oldest daughter's hair full price. She wanted some long booty braids, but then I knocked off half the price for the 9-year-old. She got box braids, but it was like a shorter curly style. It probably took me maybe 3 hours to do. And at the time I was probably charging like 75 for box braids with curls, but I told her to give me like 45 or 50 for her. And then the baby girl, I said I'll do her hair for free. I got a bunch of beads. I know it's back to school time. I bought a bunch of bows, a bunch of beads, a bunch of hair ties and stuff. I said don't worry about getting her beads and stuff. I got everything stocked up. Bring Nala. Her appointment is free. And you just pay full price for the oldest. Long story short, something just made me just throw out different discounts around that time to different mothers who I knew brought multiple girls to me because they were regulars. And like I said, they were bringing me a lot of money at one time with having multiple daughters anyway. So I knocked the price down, and she was like, Brittany, thank you so much. Like, when I finished that last girl's hair, she was like, oh my gosh, I've been spending so much money, which I already knew. She was like getting their lunch together, putting groceries in the house all summer long. They've been eating me out of house and a home and just getting everything handled myself. She was like, this was such a big help. You know, I saved maybe $50 to $70, but that's a meal on our table tonight. That's a meal on our table the next 2 nights that I could put into groceries that I didn't have to spend on their hair. Like, thank you so much, Brittany. And I was like, you welcome. It made me feel good. But not only that, y'all, months later, let's just say around like November, the first 2 girls, their hair got old. So let's just say the box braids lasted them. School starts in August. The box braids last them to like late October, early November. So now we're getting into the holiday time. And I can't remember what it was, but I was traveling home for something, and I had a lot of stuff that I needed to get. I don't know if it was an event going on that I had to buy stuff for or what, but I had been spent out on clothes, getting all of the equipment for the event with my little event planning stuff. I had to worry about gas. It was a lot of stuff that I was spending, and I had a strict budget. I had money to go home with, but my money was limited. My funds were a little bit different than what they were in other trips. I had a strict budget on what I set aside for gas, what I set aside for food on the road. Normally once I get home, I don't have to worry about meals because I'm home. My mom and them are cooking. I don't have to worry too much about food, but just getting 5 hours there, 5 hours back, food, gas. I had a strict budget on what I could spend because I had went overboard preparing for the trip, right? So like the week before I went out of town and I went on vacation, she had scheduled them to get their hair redone for whatever holiday it was, and she had booked their appointments or whatever, and she came, and I kid you not, y'all, I did those oldest 2 daughters' hair, and I charged them whatever price, the regular price at this point. I needed my money. And she walked out and was like, oh wait, Brittany, I need to go in my purse. She had cashed out me, I think, for the appointments, and went in her purse and gave me $100 bill and was like, this is your tip today. And I was like, wait, what? You know, cause she had just paid over $100 and something for both of their hair, and then turned around and gave me an extra $100. So it was like close to $300. Like it had to be like $267 or $280 close in total. After she gave me that $100 bill for their 2 appointments plus that tip. And I was like, oh no, you don't have to do that. And she was like, no, a couple months ago when I was getting ready for school, she said, you don't understand, I was so stressed out getting those girls ready for school, and you did me a favor and blessed me without even knowing, by, you know, cutting that price down. Money was tight. I was trying to make it to the next paycheck, and you did that. And she said, so it's been on my heart the next time I book with you, once stuff got steady and the school year got to rolling, and you know, I wasn't spending as much, I said the next time I'm gonna reward Brittany. And so she gave me that. And you never know how you're gonna help people. And like I said, that particular time my money was tight, so that extra $100 kind of like stretched my budget a little bit more, where I wasn't able to ball out. Y'all know $100 don't go too far these days, but it made me more comfortable on my trip, where months down the line after blessing her, she didn't realize she had blessed me. So just look out for people. You never know how you may get blessed in disguise. I'm not saying cut deals for people expecting that. A lot of times when you do things for people, you got to be genuine about it. I didn't do that for that lady expecting her to give me $100 3 months later. So you got to do stuff just because it's on your heart to do it. But every now and then, if you can think of a special or think of a time where people may be in need, holiday times, people buying a lot of gifts for their kids, people will bless you. They will remember that. They will come back to you. They will tell people about you, and you'll attract people that are really good people. When you're good to people, you get back what you give out. With looking out for your regulars, rewarding your regulars, doing those specials, you also need to think about accommodations, because sometimes, y'all, life be life, and we can't control it. Just life sometimes throws things at us that are out of our control when it comes to deaths in the family, illnesses, our health, our mental health, where we sometimes just aren't feeling it and we have to take breaks, or things may pop up where we have to cancel at the last minute, or our day gets behind and we have to push times back, and we're kind of like we come across phases in our businesses where we may sometimes inconvenience the client every blue moon. Anytime you inconvenience a client, y'all, now this is crucial. This ain't no optional advice, y'all. Really take this and run with it, because it's a lot of people out there that are giving black stylists, black business owners, stylists in general, just a bad rep by playing around with people's time and money. If you're going to be late or have to cancel on a client for any reason that you inconvenience them, always accommodate them, whether it's knocking down the price, or if you have to reschedule for whatever reason, something comes up, a death in the family, or your child is sick and you got to stop what you're doing to go get your child from daycare, whatever type of situation that may happen where you just flat out can't do a client's hair after they've booked to be in your chair. You can, if you have booking links, I know a lot of us do now, when it's time to book, a lot of the websites require a booking deposit. You can waive that fee, or say next time you book, I'm gonna do this and that, or the price will be this, or find ways to accommodate people. Put that in motion. Go ahead and have your policies written out so that it's written and it's out there for people to see if anything happens to come up. But always prioritize that, because like I said, sometimes we can't control what life throws at us, but we need to make sure that our clients are in good hands and they're taken care of, because you never know when a person is booking an appointment where they need to be or what they have planned, whether it's a birthday, a big event that might be that same day or that next morning, where you're canceling on them and it's really going to drive them crazy to try to find somebody else. Or it's a big trip and they got to be on a flight the next day and you're pushing the time back and they got other appointments. A lot of my clients are working 9 to 5 women, where if they book on a Friday or they book on a Saturday or on the weekend at any given point, a lot of times they have vacation time scheduled out where they done already took off work to go on whatever vacation it is where they're going to be away. But then they also have to take out a full day to get things done, or after work the day or two before their trip, they have appointments back to back, and that appointment day is for all of their appointments: nails, hair, feet, eyebrows, waxing, and it's appointment after appointment because they're working or they're mothers and they have to make that day for all of that, where they only had that babysitter for that one day, and you're pushing the time back, or come at this time, this change, and then their nail appointment was during that time. You're inconveniencing them or throwing their game off. You got to accommodate people. There's a lot of times where our clients play with us. They show up late, things come up for them, and they're asking us to be understanding. They also will look out and do what they can to help you and be understanding and not give you a hard time if they realize that, for one, it don't happen often. Every now and then you just can't control what happens, but when something happens, they know that they're in good hands. And on top of incentives or any other specials that you're doing and giving them, to have them coming back to you, that when you slip up or you're lacking or anything goes wrong, that you make sure there's accommodations for. Another thing that I want to talk about in general is just professionalism. Professionalism is in all of the tips that I've already named previously. Professionalism is in communication, it's in branding, it's also in your services when it comes to your policies, accommodations, incentives, all of that stuff. Professionalism is also just in the way that you carry yourself in general. Little things like gossiping, taking phone calls over clients' head. Have stuff prepared, snacks set aside, where if you do get munchy or something quick and easy you can get your hands on and get back in their head. Don't eat no greasy box of chicken. I tell y'all all the time, watch what you're eating, watch what you're doing. When you let your guard down and you get too lax and you carry on and do certain things in front of your clients, they may not judge you. A lot of my clients, where I've had moments where I needed to stop and eat, or I had a homegirl that called me in the middle of an appointment and I'm giving advice or talking to them, chopping it up with them, they're not looking at me any different for taking phone calls or having a meal. But when you get laxy-daisy like that, I notice those same clients that may not have treated me different in that moment, may not have been offended by anything I was doing in that moment, they may be ghetto, hood, wide open, or running their mouth on the phone the whole time. But when they realize I have that side of me and I kind of let down my professional guard in front of them, then they start playing with you and finding reasons to try you. So I'm gonna try to give you an example. I don't want this girl talk to be too long, but every now and then I like to throw in a story time so you can kind of get the picture of what I'm saying. I remember a time my homegirl called me. I'm not going to expose her name or the story, but basically my friend was blowing me up. I had this client. She had been to me maybe 2 times, but she was still fresh. I was still kind of getting to know the girl that was in my chair. But my homegirl was blowing me up or whatever. Normally I don't answer the phone. I'll text them doing hair or whatever. She was like, girl, just a minute. I just need you to listen or whatever. I don't need you to say anything. Just put your AirPods in. Just listen. So the girl, my friend calls me. I'm giving her advice, and my client kind of just quiet or whatever. She's chilling. And I was like, but I gotta go. You know, my client is in the chair. You said, you know, just listen. I listened to you. I gotta go. We'll talk about it later. I'll get down and dirty with you later. But get off the phone with her. And then my client, you know, she kind of chimed in on a conversation and was telling me how she had just went through a similar situation with the dude she was dealing with, and was like, you know, I'm glad you said that because I make myself so available to him and this, that, and the other. And we were talking. Next time, just off me letting my guard down in front of her and taking a personal phone call and letting her get in on how I talk and how me and my friends communicate, she ends up somehow manipulating a situation where she was an hour late to her appointment. It was like, girl, you remember the guy I was talking to and da-da-da-da on some stuff like pretty much you relate to me. I know you can relate to me because I heard you talking to your friend about men and how to move with men. So I'm going to use this because I got this dude I'm dealing with, and he seriously may have made her late to her appointment, but don't use that as a reason to be late with me because you know I know the feeling or I know what it's like, because we can talk about that when you get here. Show up to your appointment on time and we can vent and do whatever you need to do once you're in my chair, but you're not going to throw my day off and play with me because now you feel like we friends. So long story short, I said all of that to say, keep your professional guard up. Keep it together as much as you can. Try not to take those personal phone calls or really expose too much of what's going on in your personal life, because when people feel like they know you or they know what's going on or they can relate to you, sometimes they take advantage of that. Treat them how you expect to be treated. Last but not least, I just want to talk to you about being over-prepared, having things that your client may not think of or forget when it's time to book. Not time to book, but time to show up for an appointment. Maybe they're rushing. Remember I told you sometimes when clients are traveling or have a birthday coming up, a lot of times they have a lot of stuff scheduled all at once, where it can be a very overwhelming day going from place to place, appointment to appointment, where they may forget their phone charger or they may forget to eat. So sometimes in the past I've used to offer snacks. I don't do it as much anymore because you have those clients where you feed them, you give them a granola bar, some yogurt, a bottle of water, some chips sometimes, and then they purposely won't eat for an appointment before an appointment because they feel like once they show up there, oh, Brittany got me covered. I ain't got to worry about running through drive-through before I get there because I know if I don't eat, Brittany gonna have whatever I need in her pantry. I'm not telling you to offer snacks, but there are little things that you can do for clients that may every blue moon just be having a rough day to make their appointment a lot better. And don't offer it to everybody. Don't have it on display just for any and everybody to feel like every time they come they're gonna get that. But have a little stash tucked away to where if someone happens to get thirsty, they didn't have time to stop, you may have a bottle of water for them. Most of the time people know how the braid game goes. A lot of my clients, a lot of women get their hair done regularly when they know how to prepare for an appointment. They come with their snacks, they come with their water bottles, they come with their drinks or coffees or whatever, and they know the drill. But every blue moon, like I said, days get rough, days get busy. Sometimes you're looking out for your kids, busy with work. Also phone chargers, I used to just only keep iPhone chargers, and every blue moon I would have an Android user that would forget their charger and they would have to sit through an appointment. Their phone would go dead and they would have to sit through an appointment because they'll ask me, do you have a charger? I was rushing over here, girl, forgot my charger. And because I'm an iPhone user, wouldn't have it, and they would have to sit through their appointment or the last hour or so without a phone. Y'all know how we love our phones and being in our phones. So I went and got an Android charger. Only one person has asked for it, but I felt really good when she turned around and was like, do you have an Android charger? My phone died and I need to make sure my kids can communicate with me or whatever. And I said, yeah, I do. And she was like, thank you. You know, she didn't have one in her car, no nothing. So I really was happy to do that, being over prepared with accessories. A lot of clients have gotten away from that, from like putting beads and clamps and jewels on their braids. But for vacation here, a lot of my clients like to add a little razzle dazzle to their braids to take it up a notch. And sometimes I'm able to find things because I'm in and out of a lot of different hair stores, always going to new locations, trying to find what's new, what's hot, what's cute. A lot of times I have a lot of different accessories or beads and stuff that a lot of my clients may have not ever come across. And they're always super excited to come, and they may have jewels prepared, but they may see my accessories and be like, oh, I want to try that, is that okay? And I'll add it to their braids, and it'll just take it up to the next level. So just be over prepared. My main goal as a stylist is for everybody to leave my chair feeling like Brittany understands the assignment every time. Brittany knows how to make me feel good. I feel good leaving Brittany's chair. I'm excited to book with Brittany. I'm excited to get back in her chair to have an appointment. I love when my clients are happy to see me. I love when my clients are happy leaving. It makes me feel good. It really pushes me and reminds me of why I do what I do anyway. So those are all the things I really have for you guys. I'm gonna run down them. I'm gonna run through them real quick, even though I've been reviewing throughout the video. I'm gonna just give you a gentle reminder, and we're gonna close the video out. So you want to be a strong communicator. You want to have a good, professional, clean, aesthetically pleasing working environment. You want to reward your regulars. You want to give specials every now and then, cute little discounts. You also want to accommodate anyone who you ever inconvenience. You want to practice professionalism, refraining from gossip. And last but not least, you want to always be prepared for whatever the worst case scenario, a hungry client, a client with no charger, or a client that wants extra drip. So yeah, just be over prepared. There are some things that I may have forgotten, but I'll leave that to y'all to have the conversation in the comments. If you are a client or someone who doesn't do hair, but you get your hair done all the time and you just so happen to sit through this video because you find this type of content entertaining, give your feedback. Let me know, are there things, if you have a long-lasting relationship with your stylist, you've been going to your stylist for a year or two or your whole life now, and there are reasons why you'll never sit in anyone else's chair. There are reasons why you've grown attachment to your stylist, and there are things that they offer that I haven't mentioned. Let me know, because you may be helping me. You may be able to help me come up with ideas or ways to keep my clientele locked in, and as well as other new braiders or stylists that may come across this video that heard my advice but may need other advice or other ideas to really just seal the deal. So definitely leave me a comment down below. If you're a new braider or a stylist that watched this video and it helped you, let me know. Please ask any questions that you may have. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.